Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Escondido in California. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. It has been a gorgeous, gorgeous day here today. We actually hit 70 degrees. Yes, so it was nice and warm, but had an awesome day. Zephy had her final training class today, and if you saw my post on Facebook earlier, you would see that she graduated from the beginners class at PetSmart. It was it was a fun training day. It was a fun training day. The instructor brought in this big knuckle, which is this bone, this big knuckle bone, and it was wrapped up in saran wrap. It was for sale, so she'd just taken it off the shelf to use it. She puts it down on the floor. We each had to walk our dogs past the knuckle and back out again with the instruction to leave it. And I thought, well, this is going to be interesting. Every dog just over there, snuff the thing, and they get like, leave it, and the dog would keep going and leave it, and the dog would keep sniffing. All of us had that problem, and then eventually there's like the third time pass, they would say like, oh, we've got to leave it alone, and they were pretty good about that. But it was absolutely hilarious. And then we each had a turn putting our dogs onto long leads, and this is like a 30-foot lead. All Zephy wanted to do was just bite the thing. She just had it in her mouth. She was just going to bite this thing. She wasn't interested in being on the long lead. But then we had to do a long distance come, and basically just running backwards with a leash out, and then running backwards with her to catch up. And then we did a come front, where she comes to the front of you and sits in front of you. And she did pretty well on both of those, although she was eager to get away from the instructor who was holding her by the lead, because I'm walking backwards and she's like, I want to go after mummy. And but she did really, really well. And of course, we got there early, so we were the first ones there, and she's greeting every dog that walks through the door. And they had this huge like playtime area with all of us hanging onto their leashes and everything, because PetSmart has this thing, even though if you're in the training room and the door's locked, you still have to, and you have to have your dog on leash at all times under your control. And when I was there last week doing her catch-up class on the Sunday, I let her off the lead, and that's when I got the big lecture about how PetSmart has this policy with no dogs off leads, even if you're in a locked room. The only exception to that is their daycare centre. But if you're doing instruction, the dog has to be on the leash at all times. And I'm just like, oh, screw this. It's like, she's the only dog in the room, and the room's locked. Nobody can walk in. But anyway, and so we got home, and I've got to show you this. This is hilarious. So I got home. That's why I'm doing this on my phone today. And here's Zephy. Here's my little graduate. Look at her. She's basically been on this couch since we got home this afternoon around 2:30. It is now almost 7 o'clock, is it? I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, it's almost 7 o'clock. So she's been off this couch once to have a drink and something to eat. Hey, sweetie girl. You want to say hi? Yeah, hello everyone. You want to say hi? No, you're just going to curl back up and go back to sleep. And she did not protest about the fact that I took her harness off. I took her harness off, and she just curled up and went to sleep. That was it. But like I said, she's been up once during that time, had a little bit to eat, a little bit to drink, and then went straight back up on the couch and fell asleep. So she's exhausted. Oh, look at this. Isn't this a cool pillow? She got given that for Christmas. Isn't that cool? And it sits up there, and it's been sitting up there, and she hasn't touched it at all. She likes her soft toys. So of course we did our usual after the training thing. She was allowed to go pick a toy, and she picked a couple of toys. She hasn't been given them yet. She still has one toy from last week. Got her some more of the Himalayan salt chew sticks, because she's halfway through the one that we got her last week. So I'm kind of stocking up on stuff for when we hit the road, so I don't have to keep going and buying stuff when we're on the road. But yeah, she did really, really well today. I was really proud with her. And not like some of the other dogs, like they put the hat. Oh, they had this gorgeous Labradoodle there that was like a month younger than, so 9 months old, like a month younger than Zephy, and she just looked absolutely adorable in the little mortarboard that they had on her. But one of the other dogs, there was just no way he was going to put that thing on. They had a dog there that was a Shepherd Husky mix and looked very much like Gus, because I actually showed the young guy there, I showed him a picture of Gus and said, this was my previous dog. And his dog is not going to be anywhere near the size that Gus was. But yeah, so very, very proud of Zephy today. So we came home. I was exhausted when we got back, but I still had work to do. So I got buckled down. I've got my work done, got my to-do list done for the day. Before we left, I called up I did the texting thing to the jury service to see if I needed to go in on Tuesday. I don't need to go in on Tuesday, but I do need to resubmit the text message on Tuesday after 5:30 to see if I need to go in on Wednesday. And this is going to keep going on till Friday. And then if I don't get called in before Friday, I'm done. So it's kind of a little annoying having to do that because I've got to arrange for for Sparkles to be washed and polished. I've got to arrange for her to go into the service centre because my front level, my RV's looking a little bit on an angle because one of the level things one of the jacks isn't holding the thing up properly. So I think we might have a problem there. I also need to get the heating furnace checked out to see, because I haven't had the heating furnace on. I've got a little heater, but there's sometimes in some of the places we're going to where it's going to get really, really cold at night. And I just want something just to take the chill off, not to have it going all night, but just enough to take the chill off. I mean, we haven't had the heat on at night in here, and the RV's been getting down to around 49, 50. I think the lowest I had was 45 one morning. It was like walking on ice on the floor, but it was awesome. Talk about a wake-up call. Oh, cold tootsies. But of course, I run up, I plug in my little heater. It goes for an hour. We get up, we turn the heater off, and that's it for the rest of the day until the evening. And we have it going maybe an hour in the evening. So I know some of the places we're going to be visiting on our trip across are going to be a little cooler than what we are here. So I just want to make sure that the furnace is working correctly so that when I have it set for at night, nothing freezes up, because when you have the furnace going too, it also goes into the lockers a little bit to help stop the pipes freezing up in there. And it's all rubber hosing through there. It's not solid pipes, it's all rubber hosing and stuff for your water and everything else, and the tanks and all that. But it just provides just enough to stop them from freezing up if you have your furnace going. So I don't know how much gas it's going to take to operate that, because it runs on propane, and I can't remember how big my tank is, and it's sitting at half full. So that's another thing I'm going to do, not this week, the following week, is get the guy who comes around the campground here. There's a guy that comes around here around the RV resort, and he will stop at your RV and actually plug into your propane tank and fill it up. And those that have the portable propane tanks put them out at the front of their site, and he fills them up and then puts them back by their RV for them, so they know that it's been filled when they pull up. So at some point I will get him. I don't have to have my tanks empty when he does that, which is good, because I'm not sure how much my propane tank is, and there's like half a tank left, and I don't want to. And I've already used the cooker. I told you I fixed the cooker last night, right? Yeah. The thingamabob had come off the whatchamacallit, so I put the thingamabob back in the whatchamacallit, and it all started working again. I got my little spark. Do not ask me what the parts are. I have no clue. So the thingamabob wasn't plugged into the whatchamacallit, and when you turn the knob on the outside, the thingamabob and the whatchamacallit, when they're connected, create the spark for the thing to light. So that's what they do. I know my father will be cracking up laughing when he hears that. Did I tell you I got him a really cool t-shirt one time? It had like pliers and screwdrivers and screws and all sorts of other things on there, and they all had names like Thingamabob and Whatchamacallit and the Hoosie and the... He knows me and tool names, and we don't mix very well. But it had a different name for everything that was not what it was supposed to be. But that's basically it from me. I am now done with my to-do list for the day. So I am going to go put my feet up. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch a movie. Zephy is not interested in going out for a third walk today. I mean, she's kind of been out 3 times today so far already. But we do need to do the evening walk. I don't know how enthusiastic she will be about that. But we'll probably go take her for a walk in about 30 minutes after I've rested and gained a little energy. Maybe had some dinner. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll go do dinner first, and then we'll go for a walk after dinner. My brain needs some energy, and so does my body. So anyway, that's it from us. Hope you have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Tomorrow is R&R day. But I'm not sure how much R&R I'm going to get done, because trying to get everything booked up for our trip and finalized for the trip, and there's stuff I need to get done before our trip that needs to get done and all that sort of stuff. So There's all sorts of emails been going out on stuff that I've got to finalize before I go on this trip. But hopefully we can get it all done. So when I go on the trip, I don't have to worry about anything. We shall see. We shall see. But anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. And we will catch you guys tomorrow. He konera.